Gettysburg, the American Civil War's climactic battle. The Battle of Gettysburg is remembered as not only one of the exciting battles in the history of the United States, but in the history of the world as well. For 3 days in the hot July sun, almost 200,000 men slugged it out in the fields and hills of Pennsylvania. The subject of countless books and films, the Battle of Gettysburg became immortalized in Abraham Lincoln's Gettysburg Address, a stirring testament to the lives lost and the enduring ideals at the forefront of democracy and government by the people. Preparations for battle. Confederate Army of Northern Virginia Commander Robert E. Lee called for an invasion of Union territory for several reasons. Politically, Lee would create turmoil in the Union, hoping that his army's presence in the region would encourage Union citizens to force their leaders to seek peace terms. Militarily, Lee's move would enable his army to forage in northern lands, giving farms in Virginia time to harvest their crops. First day of battle. On July 1, Lee began gathering his army at the crossroads town of Gettysburg. Lee's advanced units came upon a division of Union cavalry led by Brigadier General John Buford. Buford's plan was to hold off Lee's forces until Union infantry could arrive on the field, securing the high ground outside of the town. After numerous Confederate assaults, Buford's line began to waver before being saved by the timely arrival of 2 corps under the command of Major General John Reynolds. Greatly outnumbered with Confederate forces closing in on them from all sides, the Union infantry held off the Confederate onslaught before being forced to retreat through the town. While suffering grievous losses, including the death of Reynolds himself, the Union Army was able to secure the high ground south of the town, giving them a great advantage in the next several days. Second day of battle. When Confederate forces awoke on July 2, they found that the Union Army had arrayed its defenses on the high ground around Gettysburg in the shape of a fishhook. The Army of the Potomac, which was under the command of Major General George Meade, anchored its right flank on Culp's Hill and Cemetery Hill, while its left flank snaked along Cemetery Ridge, which was topped with a low stone wall that gave its defenders ample cover. Lee ordered Confederate 1st Corps Commander James Longstreet to assault the Union's left flank. As many of Longstreet's troops were not on the field, his corps could not begin the attack until late in the day. When the Confederates did begin their assault, it led to vicious fighting and heavy casualties on both sides at places that became famous in American history, including a rocky area known as the Devil's Den. As the Confederate forces closed in on the extreme left of the Union line, 20th Maine Commander Joshua Chamberlain defied conventional strategy to save the Union position. With over half his men dead or wounded and running out of ammunition, Chamberlain ordered a bayonet charge down the hill known as Little Round Top, chasing the Confederates away. Third day of battle. Having assaulted the Union's flank, Lee determined that his best choice of action would be a frontal attack on the Union center. Before the attack, Lee ordered a massive cannonade of the Union line, training over 150 of the Army's artillery pieces on the focal point of the attack. The cannonade was the largest one in the history of the Civil War, having been heard as far away as Pittsburgh. When the cannons finished, the Confederates began their assault. Led by Longstreet, the attack became known as Pickett's Charge because the division of Major General George Pickett played a key role in the engagement. Walking over a mile to the Union lines, the Confederates were torn to pieces by Union artillery and defenders sitting behind the stone wall on Cemetery Ridge. In the end, the Confederates lost half their men in the assault. The Battle of Gettysburg ended with the decisive Union victory. In the following days, Lee quietly retreated back to Virginia as the Union began a half-hearted pursuit. Casualties on both sides were extreme. Union losses amounted to 23,000 while Confederate losses were around 28,000. Gettysburg, combined with the Union victory a day later at Vicksburg, has since become known as the turning point of the Civil War. While the war raged on for another 2 years, the Confederate Army would never threaten Union territory in such a manner again.